In 2021, I met a beautiful, tall, short-haired lady named Esther. We struck up a conversation, and all I could think was, how is she single? She was charming, funny, and seemed to have her life together. I told her about my dreams and mentioned, somewhat sheepishly, that I couldn't swim. She laughed and reassured me, saying she couldn't swim either. Water is for drinking, she quipped. I was thinking, soulmate. The first month was pure bliss. We went on dates that felt like scenes out of a rom-com. I was even buying teddy bears from street vendors, something I hadn't done since I was a teenager. 2 months in, she invited me to her place for the night. I feigned reluctance, but let's be honest, I was thrilled. Only this once, I said, knowing full well I God, why do you keep blessing me like this? You can go bless others now, I thought. As we cuddled on the couch, a nature documentary came on. It was wild dogs chasing a rabbit. I rooted for the rabbit, cheering it on with all my might. Esther, however, was cheering for the wild dogs. Catch it! Squeeze it, she exclaimed with fervor. It bothered me, but I brushed it off. Later, as we were getting ready for bed, I glanced at her WhatsApp status, expecting something cute or romantic. Instead, I saw, motivation, be the wild dog, not the rabbit. This definitely bothered me, but again, I let it go. We got into bed, and let's just say I put in my best performance. By the time we were done, I was utterly exhausted and quickly fell asleep. But there was no rain. I turned to look at Esther, who was snoring peacefully. My mind raced. Was there a demon in the house? I listened closely and discovered that the noise was coming from speakers. Esther had left her laptop on, playing a mix of thunder, rain, and animal sounds, all connected to a tiny speaker. Assuming it was a mistake, I turned the laptop off. Suddenly, Esther woke up with a start and yelled, "I will kill you." I was taken aback. "Esther, calm down," I pleaded. But she was far from calm. She was quite upset. I asked, "Why in God's name would you play thunder and rain so loudly in the middle of the night?" She explained that she needed the sound to sleep. Confused, I asked, "Why do you need thunder and a roaring lion to sleep? Who did you kill?" She started crying. I tried to comfort her, saying, "Worst of all, I told you I can't swim. You said you can't swim either. And yet you go playing floods. Why couldn't you play the sound of a flute or piano?" Through her tears, she said she was Presbyterian. I was baffled. "What are you talking about?" I asked. She explained it was a horoscope thing. Apparently, when the moon is out, Presbyterians find it hard to sleep and need external soothing sounds, hence the rain and thunder. That's when it hit me, this girl that God had blessed me with was referring to Sagittarius, not Presbyterians. I was almost in tears from laughter and frustration. "You mean Sagittarius?" I clarified. She replied, "Yes, potato potato dot." At that moment, I couldn't stay another minute. I grabbed my pants and walked out. The next morning, I woke up and checked her WhatsApp status out of curiosity. I was both surprised. But at the moment, it was pure chaos. Here I was, thinking I had found my soulmate, only to discover she was more of a comedy of errors wrapped in a beautiful package. Over time, I started to see the humor in the situation. Life has a funny way of teaching us lessons, often through the most unexpected and ridiculous circumstances. Esther had seemed perfect at first, but as with all things that seem too good to be true, there was a catch. Reflecting on our brief relationship, I realized that sometimes we overlook red flags because we're so enamored with the idea of someone. I had ignored her cheering for the wild dogs, her strange WhatsApp motivations, and even her thunderstorm lullabies. I was so desperate to hold on to the image of her as my perfect match. Esther's quirks weren't just harmless eccentricities, they were glimpses into a personality that didn't mesh with mine. And let's not forget the importance of communication. If you're waking up to thunderstorms and roars in the middle of the night, maybe it's time to have a chat about sleep habits. If you find yourself on a date cheering for different sides in a nature documentary, maybe you need to discuss your values and perspectives. After my night at Esther's, I approached dating with a new perspective. I became more mindful of the small signs and started asking more questions. I realized that while physical attraction and shared interests are important, compatibility goes much deeper. It's about understanding and respecting each other's quirks and finding someone who's weird. Until then, I'll keep enjoying the journey, with all its unexpected twists and hilarious turns. So, if you're out there dating and feeling frustrated by the quirks and oddities of potential partners, take heart. Every strange encounter is a lesson, every mismatched night an opportunity to learn more about what you truly want and need in a relationship. And remember, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Whether they're a wild dog cheerleader or a thunderstorm enthusiast, take note and decide if that's the kind of person you want to wake up next to in the middle of the night. Because life is too short to be jolted awake by roaring lions and fake thunderstorms. In the end, it's all about finding someone whose weirdness matches yours. Here's to the wild dogs and the rabbits, the thunderstorm enthusiasts, and eventually, I met someone who seemed to strike the right balance. She had her own set of quirks, but they complemented mine in a way that felt natural and harmonious. She had her own set of calming nighttime sounds, a playlist of soft piano and nature sounds that actually helped me sleep better. We joked about the thunderstorm incident. She preferred the sound of gentle rain to a roaring lion. Looking back, my night with Esther was a pivotal moment which reminded me that true compatibility goes beyond superficial traits and shared interests. It's about finding someone whose eccentricities you can embrace, and who can embrace yours in return. So, if you're navigating the wild world of dating, embrace the journey, laugh at the absurdities, and remember that sometimes, the best love stories come from the most unexpected places. The Piano Lullaby Lovers. May your journey be filled with laughter, love, and just the right amount of weirdness.